Hello, American Patriots. Douglas Ducote here, coming to you from the American-Mexican border. First, I'd like to say that we made it down here safely, no problems. And since we've been here, we got in late last night. From last night and today, we have met some really great, outstanding patriots that are, let's put it this way, they're aware of my YouTube channel, which is actually pretty cool. I've had some Border Patrol agents say, hey, aren't you that guy on YouTube, without even knowing who I was yet. So that was kind of cool. One of the things I want you to know is that they're very, very appreciative, not only the local law enforcement, all law enforcement down here, but also we're finding out the Hispanics that live here on the border, on the American side, they are 100% for a good, secure border and some type of wall or fence like what you see here. So anyhow, what I want to do real quick is I wanted to introduce you to a gentleman that, outstanding American patriot that comes down here on the border often. He's with a group. We're not going to go into names because of security purposes, but basically what I want you to know about him and these groups is that they go out and day and night, and they look in areas that Border Patrol just doesn't have enough people to be at, bottom line, okay? And when they see illegal activity, they radio it in or they phone it in to get Border Patrol to go to those locations and intercept these people, whether it's drug mules or sex trafficking or what have you. So he's going to share with us some of the things that they're seeing down here, all right? And what I've told you all along, and everybody is aware of this, is that Democrats and left-wing media and Republicans and right-wing media have two complete different stories of what's happening down here on the border, as we all know. And this is somebody that's not either one of those, just an American patriot doing his job, his mission to help us and help keep us secure here in America, that's going to tell you things that neither one of these networks are willing to talk about, okay? So we're just going to introduce you to Mike. Come on in here, brother. Folks, this is Mike. Mike, thanks for joining us. I'm sure everybody appreciates it. I sure as hell do. Last night and today we were talking about the different things that you're seeing down here on the border, things that are happening that we don't hear about as often or at all that takes place, that the media won't discuss. So let's talk first about the sex trafficking. What are you guys seeing as far as when Trump says national emergency, there's sex trafficking happening? What do you see taking place that the news media's not talking about?
Well, first of all, it's such a vast area, and there's going to be such a mix of people coming through the different areas. But yes, there's definitely evidence of sex trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and depending on where in the border, where the security is most, they are daily updated on intel where the Border Patrol goes on our side. And so they will counter that into different sectors. The big thing is, it's a constant flow. People who are not on the border cannot possibly understand the overwhelming number of people that are coming over right now. So this is not new. This has increased in the last 6 months by tenfold. But this is not new. I have a friend of mine, he has about 1,000 acres just north of here. It's an every year occasion where he finds dead people going through his property trying to get to America. I mean, they're in America, but they are trying to get to Houston or Corpus or whatever. And I can't understate the vastness of this border area, okay? Yes, there are towns together here and there with number of borders like this one we're standing by. We're about a click away from the Rio Grande right now, but there's a big gap in the fence right here.
Which we're going to show y'all in a minute, which is crazy.
And they just apprehended a bunch of people here right now that swam or waded across the Rio Grande less than a half hour ago. They just apprehended a bunch here. And we are literally 2 miles, as the crow flies, from Fort Brown, which is the main hub to go in and out over the bridge. And that's where you check in and you check out. We're 2 miles away. And these people crossed the Rio Grande right here and get caught in the gap of this fence. But what happens when they don't get caught in the gap of the fence? They're still going north, and they go into my friend's property, and they don't have enough food, they don't have enough water. He finds anywhere from 3 to 7 people a year that has died on his property, just his property. We're not talking about adjacent pieces of property.
Yeah, millions of acres of land.
Just his property, which is about 1,000 acres. And he goes and doves hunt and inevitably finds a dead person. And, you know, his daughter was with him the last time, and they were checking on the land, and the daughter said, "Look, Dad, there's a girl asleep underneath that tree." She wasn't asleep. So I can't emphasize this enough. It happens. It's happening now. You don't believe it? Come down here and talk to the people that are here. Don't listen to people that are sitting in a chair in Washington. Come down to the border. Talk to the people here. Almost every single one of them will tell you this is a major problem. It was a little bit of a problem, you know, a year ago or so, but it's turned tenfold now. The amount of people that they're in processing, the amount of people that are crossing that are not in processing has increased tenfold.
Yeah.
The assets that are here at the border are not capable of handling that amount of people. Almost everybody here that I've talked to, and we've talked to quite a few in the last couple of days here near Brownsville, has overwhelmingly supported a secure wall. We have to have a secure wall.
And that's even the Hispanics that live here.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Texas and Mexico has always had a symbiont relationship, okay? And it's worked until recently when the Central Americans are coming through Mexico now. And we have OTMs, other than Mexican, and other than people from Central America are also crossing in with the groups. They have found prayer mats. They have found all sorts of,
Which would be Muslims.
Muslim propaganda on the trails, where they will try to get into a group and sneak across with the group, posing as Central Americans coming into America, because the mules that are bringing the traffic people over, they know the route. So if they can get into the group that knows the route, they will get into America.
Now, when we talk about sex trafficking, last night we heard a story, which he can elaborate a little bit on, of they came across basically a tree with a chain around it, locked, and at the end of the chain was a collar and the skeleton bones of a female, and her clothing scattered around, while animals had taken the body, as you know, they destroyed it. And but also in that area right around it was condoms. So it's obvious that this person, what Trump tells us, you know, about women being sexually assaulted and raped and what have you, you guys are seeing that happen. I mean, you're coming across dead bodies.
It's called a rape tree.
Rape tree.
And so what happens is they will single out females in the group and basically use them for their pleasure whenever they see fit. And you know, I couldn't even imagine the horror if you're with a family and you have your 12, 14-year-old daughter and they grab her,
signal her out, separate her,
and tie her to that tree and have everybody in that group have their way with her and then carry on. I mean, yeah. It's and it happens all the time, and it just doesn't happen here in South Texas. It happens all the way across the whole border, New Mexico, Arizona. I can't speak for California, but we do ops in Arizona, a few in New Mexico, and then we do ops here in Texas. And everyone that I've talked to has encountered multiple rape trees at any time that we do operation down here. And usually there are bodies of the females in close proximity or still tied to the tree. So
yeah, they just go off and leave them there. You know,
it's unimaginable what they're doing. If that isn't a humanitarian crisis, I really don't know what is.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things we keep hearing also is that they don't see any members from the Democrat Party, Congress people, coming down here to see this, to see with their own eyes, to come to this border and stand here and interview any of these folks. Okay, who comes down here? Republicans. What do they say? They say they're lying. They're making it up. It's not true. Okay, the Democrats won't get off their ass and physically come down here. Nancy Pelosi's probably never been to the border. AOC, all the rest of them.
They don't want.
Okay, they don't want to come down here. They don't want to see it. They want to pretend that it's a made-up crisis that doesn't exist. Now, real quick, what about drugs? How often and how much are y'all getting across this border as far as illegal narcotics are concerned?
I can't give you specific numbers, but there are a lot of drugs getting apprehended now because the tighter border security and the military getting involved, and so there's less apertures that they can come across. And when they are catching the people, there is probably a 30 to 50% chance that somewhere in that group, in the large groups, they're putting people that are carrying drugs. They've made some huge drug busts right down here just trying to cross the bridge into America. Because of the increased security, there goes the Border Patrol right now.
Taking off after somebody.
After somebody. Oh yeah, he's lit up. Like I said, we just had a group come through here less than 30 minutes ago. We were talking to the captain down here at Fort Brown, and he said, yeah, we just had this incident. You know, keep your head on the swivel, be aware of what's going on. I would probably guess, seeing we're less than a click away from the Rio Grande, just that way, I could probably throw a rock into it almost, that there's probably another group, because what they'll do is a group comes through and they get apprehended or they don't get apprehended, and they signal back to other groups, yes, this is a good path, yeah, no, this is not a good path. And so they have a whole communication system, and they analyze the weaknesses in the border. And I can't emphasize this enough. This border right here, this is an old one, it's been up for a while, it's only 15 foot high. I have a big gap right here. There's a road.
I'm gonna turn the camera so you guys can see this. Mike, continue this about this story here with this wall.
Nice wall all the way down that way. Bam. There's a road, and it's a well-traveled road. We've been here for about 20 minutes. We've probably seen 30 cars come through here. And I'm not saying there's a good way or a bad way to fix this, put a checkpoint, put a gate here. I don't know the answer to that, because there are people living right here, okay? There are houses right here. There are houses right there. The Rio Grande is right there.
Yeah, I'll bring it over here a little bit so y'all can see a house right there.
The problem is, How do we fix this? I don't know. But I can assure you that there's a crisis going on. And I know for a fact, because I've talked to a couple of the Border Patrol, they are overwhelmed, absolutely overwhelmed by what's happening right now. The caravans that are coming up from Central America are big, and they're overwhelming the whole system. I can't emphasize this enough. Call your congressman, call your senator. Let it be known that you know that there's an issue, and demand your representatives to do something about it.
Excellent. Brother, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you're doing down here.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank
Thanks
you
for putting it out.
So, what I want y'all to know is that all the footage that we take down here and the interviews we do, the second week, I believe it is, in May, we'll be going up to Washington, D.C., and we're going to present this, besides the fact that it's going to be on my YouTube channel. But I want the reaction from Democrats that are currently in Congress about what we are seeing and what we're talking about, okay? I want them to answer to this. Why are they not coming down here and seeing the horrifying conditions with the women that are being raped and killed and so forth, and the drugs and the human trafficking? Why is this such a denial of the Democrat Party? You know, how can a party be so in the dark? But here's the bottom line, folks. They're not. They know what's happening down here, but it's just one of their weapons to help use against Republicans to try and make the rest of America that has no clue what happens down here believe that it's made up to swing votes. That's what it's all about in the long run. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and leave at this point because we've got some other places we have to go and some other people we have to talk to. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers. These guys and girls down here are doing a hell of a job, and it is very, very much appreciated. Their families, Blue and Gold Star families, our president, our country. Can't stress it enough. What our brother Mike was saying, reach out to your members of Congress and let them know they need to bring their ass down here and see it and hear it firsthand like we're doing on this mission. Thank you. God bless you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll be back with you soon.